What's up, beautiful people? How are you doing? Welcome back to another episode of Money Talk with Prue. Hi, I'm Prue. So if you want to be financially free, financially stable, have financial peace, learn how to manage your small business effectively, then you're in the right place. Because here at Money Talk, that's all we do. We talk and we teach each other about personal finance and small business management. So if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and the share button so that you can spread the word on how good this channel is. Today, we're going to talk about financial literacy. What is financial literacy? Why is it important? The dangers of being financially illiterate and how you can become a financially literate person. So, financial literacy. What is it? In simple terms, financial literacy is the understanding of how money works and how to manage it effectively. That is like a primary school definition of financial literacy. But for grown-ups, we can say that it refers to the knowledge and understanding of various financial concepts and the ability to make informed decisions regarding personal finance. And personal finance covers a wide range of topics, and these include income generation, expenses, budgeting, investing, saving, and under those topics, there are also subtopics. You come across concepts like shares, stocks, bonds, treasury notes. All that is encompassed in this topic of financial literacy. So, why is it important for you to learn to be financially literate? It is important because basically it helps you be financially savvy. So it helps you make good financial decisions, good financial choices in all areas of your life. So as it is now as a country, Malawi, because that's where I am, that's where we're based, Malawi does not have a financial literacy program that starts from as early as primary school level, which is something that needs to happen because everything revolves around money. Everything revolves around money, and yet somehow it is not taught in our schools. But when you finish college, for example, you are thrown in this world where all of a sudden you're supposed to know how all these things work. You're supposed to know how to budget your money. You're supposed to know where to invest. You're supposed to know that you're going to grow old and you're going to retire one day. So you're supposed to somehow know and have this money set aside so that when you retire, you have it. Most people don't have this knowledge. I myself am a qualified accountant. I qualified over 15 years ago. I did SCCA. But I will tell you that in all my studies, or in all that time I was studying SCCA, there was no topic specifically dedicated to personal finance. I am financially literate, but more on the corporate side. Like, give me books for a business, I'll know what to do. But to apply the same things to my personal life, it's just not that easy for some reason. So there is a need to be financially literate, and specifically to be a person who is literate in personal finances. And so that's where this topic comes in. And how does financial illiteracy affect a person when you are financially illiterate, like you're financially not smart? What happens to you? So you run into problems when you're financially illiterate. The first problem is debt accumulation. Necessary. Don't get me wrong, debt is good when you know what to do with it, because rich people get rich by using other people's money, which is debt, which is what we call debt. So it's okay to borrow, invest somewhere where you know that a good return will come about. And the only way you can know that is if you're financially literate. So when you're illiterate, you borrow money to consume, and then you borrow more money to pay back the money that you borrowed. And then before you know it, you're just in this cycle where you're just borrowing, and every time there's a due date, you're stressed to think, where else am I going to get this money to pay back where I borrowed? So you accumulate debt unnecessarily. Number two, you don't know where to invest. You don't know how to invest and you don't know where to invest. You have a poor credit score. So a few years back, credit score was like nothing here in Malawi. It's just something we would hear online that, people get refused loans because they have poor credit scores. But Malawi now has that. They have the Credit Reference Bureau. So if you want to get a loan, you need to be vetted by the Credit Reference Bureau. So this is where they look at your history, your account history, whether you've borrowed money before from a bank, from a microfinance institution, because all these things are under the Reserve Bank of Malawi. So they are all under one big umbrella where if you borrow from Standard Bank, don't think that they will not know that you also one day borrowed from National Bank and you did not finish paying your loan, or you kept skipping on your payments. That's where the Credit Reference Bureau comes in. So if you're financially illiterate, you think that you're smart by dodging other people, by running away with their monies and just borrowing from one place to another. But the Credit Reference Bureau is where they'll get you. If you one day want to get maybe a mortgage, get something big that requires some injection of capital, you may well be refused that opportunity because maybe you missed out on a small payment somewhere and the Credit Reference Bureau picked it up. So being financially illiterate will make you have a poor credit score, and that's not something you want. Another problem with being financially literate is that you live paycheck to paycheck, as in because you don't know where to invest, you don't know how to invest. The money that you make in 1 month is the money that you make and is the money that you spend. So whenever you're starting the new month, it's like you are back at zero, or even worse, you are still in debt because, as I said, that means you'll be borrowing and borrowing for consumption. And living paycheck to paycheck is not a good place to be. That's where you want to move out. You want to be able to know that, okay, I've paid all my bills right now, but I will survive the next month or two, and my other salary coming in, maybe I can invest it somewhere. You want to be able to say that. If it's not a salary, maybe you are running businesses, you don't want to be in a position where money finishes like at a zero every time it's like the end of the month. I don't know what number it is, but if you're financially illiterate, there's also a problem, another problem that you can face, which is believing these get rich quick schemes. This is where people lie to you that if you invest in this social business, it's gonna give you like 1,000% return, and you give these people your money and they never pay you back. Because you are financially illiterate, you just believe that you want fast money. So anything they tell you, you end up believing. And again, these things end up making you stay and remain in debt. And another problem, there are so many problems, but I think I can end on the point that it also causes you stress and mental health struggles. People have anxiety, depression, when they don't know how to manage their money well, because they always end up in some sort of trouble. And there have been so many cases, like suicide cases, the reason being they borrowed money somewhere and they're failing to pay. They fail to pay back, or they don't believe that if they try to discuss with the person, they'll understand. So people end up taking their lives because of money, leaving their relatives and their friends in such despair. So you don't want to be in that position. So to save yourself all these troubles, that's why you need to be financially literate. So how does one go about it? How does one become a financially literate person? So as I've already said, the education system in Malawi currently does not include these lessons, these personal finance lessons. So it falls on you. If you are able to watch this video, buy a bundle, click on this video and watch it, then you are smart. You're one step ahead. And if you're one step ahead, you should know that nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is coming to save you. It is all up to you. So you need to self-educate. You need to educate yourself on financial literacy. And how do you go about that? There's so many ways. Number one is what you're doing right now. Subscribe to financial channels on YouTube. There's so many entertaining things that you can see on YouTube, on TikTok, on Facebook, on social media. Let me just say that. And that's all fun and good, but you should remember that the same platforms that you're using to entertain yourself are also platforms that you can use to educate yourself. So on purpose, search for personal finance channels. There are so many good ones. So you need to subscribe to those channels, and don't just subscribe, you need to be watching. You need to be watching so that you can be learning those things. And apart from watching, you can listen to like the audio version. Subscribe, follow channels on Spotify to listen to finance channels. And I know most of the lessons that come on there, they're like internationally focused, internationally centered. So they'll give examples of like in the US, expenses that happen, or shares that you can buy in the UK, but you can adjust them and apply them to your situation here in Malawi. So subscribe to podcasts, subscribe to podcasts and like audio, both audio and video, podcasts, so that you can learn how to be financially literate. Another way is to read. You need to read books on money. There's so many good ones. There's Rich Dad, Poor Dad. There is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. There's The Psychology of Money. There are so many books on personal finance, on money. And right now I'm carrying this book. This is Personal Finance Management. This book is written by Audrey Mwala, our very own Malawian. So I can guarantee you that this book would be something that it's probably the only book that you would need to read about personal finance and get insights and get knowledge that, once applied, will help you move from being a financially illiterate person to a financially literate person who is wealthy. Okay? You will not just have the knowledge, but you will gain the skills to help you be a wealthy person. So in this book, there are like so many things that you're gonna learn about. There's obviously the introduction to personal finance, and there's visionary life. These are the chapters in the book. So visionary life, the whole thing, you need to think to manifest things, in your life. Financial discipline, there's black tax, there's the saving culture, learning about emergency fund, investments, debt management, wealth creation, enjoying your money, because you have to enjoy the money. You can't just be busy making money. Giving, preparing for retirement, insurance, and estate planning. So those are the chapters in the book. And this book is really big. It's a long book. It's over 300 pages. So it's more of like a course, really. And it's not something that you just say, you just be flipping like page to page, and it's not a story. It's lessons that you need to read a chapter, think about it, plan on how you're going to apply those things in your life, and then move on to the next. So I'll just read you an excerpt apart from the chapter 4, which is black tax. Like, have you heard about black tax before? Maybe you haven't. Well, it's something that all of us, most of us anyway, in Malawi do, but maybe you don't know that you're doing it. So black tax, this is a term used to describe the lifetime financial outflows that Africans make to families and friends as an obligation to provide support. Because it does not end and it is an obligation, it is seen as a second tax that we pay after paying government tax. While employees earn money through their working lives, most of them retire without any savings and investments because, among other explanations, throughout their working lives, they support relatives financially every month. So, black tax is kutandiza abale. And she is not saying that it's a bad thing in this book, let me tell you that. But she has a way of explaining how you can manage this black tax. You don't want to just say all those people who are less fortunate than you, to hell with them. No, But when you read this book, you're going to get the concepts and the skills on how you can properly manage this black tax issue without drowning yourself financially, because you are growing old. Obviously, that whole retirement thing that we hinted about, you need to make sure that when you're old, you have some money set aside to take care of yourself. So reading is another way that you can help yourself be financially literate. I will dedicate a few episodes to this book. Not a few, I think there are 12 chapters. 14 chapters. I will dedicate 14 episodes to discuss this book in detail, because I think it's something that every Malawian who is well-meaning needs to read. Because apart from managing your personal finances well after reading this book, it's like where you are as well. You will help your organization, you help your family also be people who are able to manage their finances well. Another way of how you can become a financially literate person is by taking online courses. There are so many free courses that you can take online. Just Google personal finance free course. You will see so many of them. You can also attend workshops. There are paid workshops. In Malawi, there are also so many organizations. This is going to seem like an ad, but Audrey Mwala, the one who wrote this book, has Sycamore Consult. That is a consulting firm, and they provide not just personal finance, but they have short courses on various topics, which include personal finance, planning for retirement, debt management, what's this, customer care. So there's so many courses that they do. So you can buy courses like that, as in physical courses, attend to courses like that. For this, you need to invest. Some of these things that I'm talking about are free, but there are other things that you need to invest in. And investing in yourself is also, that should be like number one on your list. And one way of investing in yourself is by attending workshops and courses on personal finance management. You can follow financial blogs and websites. You should be in the know of what's happening in your economy. I know there's so many stories here and there on WhatsApp groups just threatening you. Inflation is coming. Hey, depreciation here. Devaluation here. Hey, the dollar has done this. Just scaring you. Yes, that's how the world is. But you should intentionally subscribe to trusted news sources, so that you're able to know what's going on. You maybe, for example, a listed company, let's say FDH, can declare that, this year we are giving out, 10 kwacha for every share, like dividends. When that happens, most people now end up going to invest, like buying more shares in companies. That's actually a great time, I should say, to buy shares on the stock market. So you should be in the know. When that happens, the demand may go high, or, for example, something has gone wrong in the company. You should know that maybe this is the right time for me to sell the shares that I have and invest them elsewhere. So you should be in the know on what's going on in the news. So subscribe to financial blogs and websites, trusted sources only. And you should also watch your circle, your friends, because it is said you are the average of the 5 people that you spend your time with. So you should look around you. Who are the 5 people that you're constantly talking to? And then look at your life. You're going to see that there's a direct correlation with what's going on there, how their financial levels are, and where you're at. So when you do that, you also now need to, if you're not happy, because I think most of you will not be happy, be like, I don't like where I'm at right now. So if you want to improve that, you need to improve your circle. And how do you improve your circle? You have to attend networking events in the industry. There's so many things that happen. Accountants have their own, there's accountants, engineers, or lawyers. They have their own associations, yes. And those are maybe just when events like that happen, they're invited to people in that industry. That's fine and good. But there are other things that happen that are open to everyone. There's business pitch nights. They used to have in pitch nights. I don't know if they still do, but business pitch nights. The launching of those, like a launch of Financial Literacy Week by that should have been Reserve Bank. Those are things that are like open to the public. You go there, you meet one or two people, and people who are interested in building themselves attend such kind of things. And while there, you can end up meeting new friends who will then help you grow. Now, after reading, after watching, after listening to all these things, the thing that you now need to do is to apply, because we don't have a shortage of information in the world. There's lots of that. What we have a shortage on is implementation of all these things. We read, and then we just sit on them. Like we know what to do, but to do it somehow, it's a problem. So if you do that, if you buy this book and read it, if you watch all the YouTube videos that you can find about personal finance, listen to all the podcasts, and then sit and do nothing, you will still end up where you are. And that's not what we want. Being financially literate, for that literacy to show, it means you're applying all those things. So you need to apply, step by step. You start by monitoring yourself in at least 2-3 months. Monitor what you do with your money. Monitor where your money is coming from. And then next step, you're going to now start to budget, to see where you can fix things, to see how else you can earn more money. And then you go on to saving, and then you go on to like paying off your debt, and then you go on to investing in like big things. So it's a step-by-step process, but the key thing is after reading and learning about these things, you need to implement them. And that way, we're going to have a financial literate you, and in turn, we're going to have a financial literate nation. So that's what we want. We're fixing this country. We're starting with what? Financial literacy. So yeah, that is all I had for you today, guys. Financial literacy, what it is, why it's important, why it's bad for you to be financially illiterate, and how you can go about being a financial literate person. So if you enjoyed this video, guys, please comment. Well, first of all, like the video. And then if you have any questions, comment in the comment section below. And any other questions that you don't feel like writing in the comments, you can always email them to the email that's going to be in the description box. As always, remember to subscribe. Remember to share this channel so that more people can subscribe, and that way we can make more videos and make everybody be, financially literate and financially free. So until next time, this has been Money Talk with Prue. Bye.